This morning, I will tell you a little bit about an experience that we had um, on the set of the television show The Chosen, and I'll be glad to share something with you. The Chosen was made by creator Dallas Jenkins, and he started with a short film years ago. He was in Hollywood, he made films, he directed and created. And there was even a film that he had made, the best Christmas pageant ever. He was known for that. And after that, he had some disappointment, and he had this calling to do more. And it came to him as a vision to make a film or make a production about 5 and 2. This kept coming to him, loaves and fish. And he was talking to his wife about it, and he was raised in a Christian environment. His dad, actually, was Jerry Jenkins, one of the authors of the very famous book series Left Behind, also made in film. So he started with this little setback and then made a tiny little film, actually a sort of a Christmas film, which was about 2 fish and 5 loaves. A short film about the shepherds. He really wanted to bring the life of Jesus and the shepherds more to us. And it was really difficult for him to find funding. So ultimately, he brought this to a production company. They picked it up. It was kind of a distribution company. They picked it up. Later, he dropped his relationship with them. But they picked it up, and it became very popular. So it was a streaming short film, and it was immensely popular. It was all over the world. So with that, he started a crowdfunding, and so The Chosen became the largest crowdfunded production in the industry ever. And so now we know that this television show, they are filming season 6 and 7, is watched by more than 280 million people worldwide, and also translated in a lot of languages. He really wanted to bring the life of Jesus really close to us. I think what really was important about the show and its popularity was it was about people and relationships, Jesus' relationship with the apostles. It was engaging storytelling, relatable characters, and a fresh take on the biblical narrative. This is not well perceived by everybody, because the critics, of course, said that there was too much taken loosely, but for him it was all about bringing Jesus closer to us. And I saw the very first episodes on an airplane coming back home. And I was so thrilled by it. I was so taken by it. It was so relatable, like I said, every time. And I told Jim about it. We started watching together. And so now we have watched the first 5 episodes. I had a friend in the industry, and I was talking to her. She's actually a client, a life coaching client with me. And she said, well, this job and this and that. I said, what are you working on right now? She says, well, I'm on the production team, the financial administration production team of The Chosen. But I also help out looking for volunteers. I said, well, I'll be glad to volunteer someday. She said, because they're shooting in Texas again, in Midlothian. And little did I know that many of the seasons had been shot in Midlothian or in Utah. If you see the Sea of Galilee, that's in Midlothian. And if you see the mountains where Jesus is walking with the apostles, then it's shot in Utah. And so that was really, I didn't know. So I said, I'll be glad to help out. So in August, we actually helped 2 long days on the set. We were invited to help out with merchandise. We worked for T-shirts. And it was an amazing day. So I brought some pictures for you to show. This is Jim in our stands. We are helping with merchandise, all the T-shirts, all the coffee cups, the goodies, the puzzles, the calendar. We brought Pastor a calendar for 2006, so you can view that or see that in the office. It's beautiful pictures. There was all kind of merchandise, and we were helping with the pop-up stand. It was quite large, quite big. They had a lot of merchandise. Why there on the set in this big tent? I'll show you the next one. There was 600 volunteers for 2 weeks on the set in Midlothian. They called it Camp Hoblitzell. It's a Salvation Army camp. It's very widespread. They hold summer camps for kids there. They do retreats there. And when the production company comes, they take over and they host everybody there. The actors stay there. And in this camp are huge tents set up. And all the actors are showing up in appropriate clothing. They go through wardrobe. They go through the wardrobe tent. They get approved, and they get fed lunch, dinner, and even breakfast the whole day. So it really looks as if the craft service looks as Costco on steroids. I mean, it is just everywhere, food everywhere, drinks everywhere. And we were in the tent, and all the people that came and be an extra, they had so much experience being extras. They had been on the set before. They had sometimes couples by themselves, traveled from Utah to Texas and back to Utah just to be an extra on the show. All this time, they are just, I met people from all over the world. I met people from Germany, a girl from Scotland, people from Italy. They travel to be an extra on the show. And there were 600 people sitting in that tent. Let's show some more. Everybody was beautifully dressed. Now, we drove up and we saw the tent and we saw the city. So this is from far away. I can't tell you anything about what we actually saw when we were allowed on the set, because it is all highly confidential. We are shooting season 6, which is about the crucifixion, and season 7 after that, they're working on that as well, which is the resurrection. So it's a very intense shooting schedule, and we are not going to be able to see it till the end of 2026. But you see here the Sea of Galilee at Camp Hoblitzell in Midlothian. And you see the city of Jerusalem also used as Jericho and used as Capernaum before in several scenes. And there's a large building that you see there on the right. We were not allowed to go in there, but those are the stages for all the other scenes that are shot indoor. So it's pretty big, it's huge. Then let's go ahead through the next one. What do we have? Oh, here's Eliane with 600 extras, just to prove to you that I was there. It was packed, and they would call people out by the color of their lanyards, and they would say, all purple people now on the set. And then they would walk in the background of the scenes. We saw some scenes being shot, and we saw how they used the extras walking in the background and carrying props as well, and everything, of course, was very appropriate. Wardrobe had to, all these uniforms, all these costumes, wardrobe had to approve it, because it cannot have a zipper. You know, there's the things that we didn't have 2,000 years ago that now, you know, buckles and things like that, they couldn't be on their costumes, but everybody was fabulously dressed and crazy, absolutely crazy to be there. I've never experienced this atmosphere. We were both, wow, they knew every part of every scene of every show, of every episode. They knew it. And all these extras would spend so much money in our pop-up shop the whole day to buy t-shirts and buy goodies. And the stories that I heard, how the show had transformed their lives. A gentleman talking to me about he was really deep, hitting the deep end, not wanting to live anymore, and started to watch episode 1. And his life came around and he started working and volunteering for the show. There was couples and there was people that told me how their house now had beautiful pictures of the show hanging on the wall and calendars, and how they traveled everywhere in their travel trailers to follow the show around, how they would donate so much money. One lady would buy t-shirts for everybody. She said, I keep them in my car. And I'm very shy. I really don't talk to people very easy. And now I started wearing my t-shirt and people recognize it at Walmart. And I keep my car full of t-shirts and I invite them to my car to give them a t-shirt so that I can start a conversation. So it was really beautiful, beautiful testimonials about what the show had done for people. So big, so huge. We'd never experienced that. Let's go through some more pictures. And here's, you can see how the ladies line up. I was at the front of the line talking to everybody. Just amazing costumes. Next one. And here's Dallas Jenkins, the creator, who came out himself to speak to all the extras and to tell them about the production progress and where they were and how it was going and what they were supposed to do. Let's see the next one. Here's everybody shopping, Jim helping. Jim said he would like to play Jesus. He brought his sandals. He did not get cast. I said with his nose, he would probably go for a Roman. So the next one is, everybody is shopping. Here's my girl. I think she came from Scotland. She was a student, and she used the last week of her summer to travel all the way to the United States to follow the show and be on the show for a couple of days as an extra. Everybody talking to each other, singing. The people came out, a band came out to play for them during lunch. Everybody was very well taken care of. The next one is, I got a few more. This is the interior. One of my friend's husband had an interior shot here from the building. You can see how fine everything is done by the art department, just incredible. And the next one, what do we have left? Oh, this was The Chosen. There's a beautiful box that you can purchase. There's only 500, the first edition. We were watching, kind of monitoring the pictures the next day. They are shot by Annie Leibovitz, one of the most famous photographers in the world, and it was like paintings. The box is, I think, $999. You get 4 original photographs by Annie Leibovitz to hang in your home. And people were just crazy about it. I think we sold the first 500 on the spot by people making a commitment to buy these boxes of pictures. The next one, I think we have a few more of that. So it looks like, these were the pictures, the photographs. They looked like paintings. It was incredible, beautiful, and they're all 4 of the scenes of season 5, The Last Supper. The first season talks about Galilee, the second about Jesus' travels to Syria and Judea. The third season is about his return to Capernaum. The fourth season talks about Jesus' last year of ministry. And season 5, as we watched, it's now on Netflix and everywhere to be found, talks about the Holy Week and Last Supper. And this was the pictures or the paintings that she made of the cast. So I wanted to show this, share this with you. What do we have? Maybe 1 or 2 more from the pictures and the paintings. Was this the last one? Good, we're out. So these were really very, very amazing experiences. Just everybody, the crew, the people, the extras for days on end there. If you want to be an extra, come see me. If you want a t-shirt for volunteering, come see me. If you love the show, how can you support it? Crowdfund it. Buy 10 t-shirts for everybody with Christmas, or buy a calendar, or buy gifts on the website, thechosentv.com, I think it is. Thank you for letting me share.
Thank you, Eliane, for sharing with us. And yes, if you have more questions, I'm sure she'd be happy to talk to you.